heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun. It's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave is how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
Peace, 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 peace. We live and direct for your Sunday school.
Peace, peace.
Peace, Empress.
Peace.
Peace, Malik.
Hey.
I'm just grabbing my tea real fast, man. Can you just holler at the people and tell them to join us on our YouTube channel as well?
Why is your platform on? Because we already on YouTube right now.
Yeah, but I'm on TikTok as well. You know, if I want
on Facebook too.
Yeah, I want to get all our people on TikTok to join us on YouTube.
You gotta face them towards me.
Hold on.
Good.
Hold on. Let me turn that camera. Got to get my tea. I was just letting my tea warm up, so I was taking a minute. Let me see. Where you at? Okay, I think I can turn it. Hold on. How do I turn this camera around?
It should be that little circle thing.
I don't know how to even do it. That's in. Let me see. What's this?
It should be a little thing like two arrows going in the same direction. Like a circle or a square.
Oh, actually, I see it. I got it.
There you go, baby. You know you can do it, honey.
Be quiet. Oh, there. All right, there you go. I got you on there.
So, people, those who tuning in on TikTok, we're only going to be on for about 20, 30 minutes. We need to get everybody through our platforms, our Facebook or our YouTube platform, preferably our YouTube platform. And get all the streamers from TikTok over there to the YouTube platform to get this knowledge of self, of history, of biblical reference. We can think this, so we can be synchronized with the science. So everybody that's on TikTok, go over to our YouTube page. And if you are on a YouTube page and you come from TikTok, text in and say I'm here and I'll reply ASAP. So please get over to our YouTube page and say that you're here on our platform. We possibly could send you some free book. So please link over, put your email in the description, and I'll send you the book of our topic today. So how about that? Free gift. And I'll do it ASAP. As soon as you put your email in and say that you're here from TikTok, I'll go ahead and send you the free book that was going to be our topic of today. So I was telling people, whoever leave TikTok, they're going to get the free book for today of our topic. So if they go over to our YouTube page and say that they hear from TikTok and put their email in, I'll send them the book for our topic today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So come on over. We're going to be about 20, 30 minutes, and then we're going to cut it off from TikTok.
Yep.
TikTokers, TikTok on over to YouTube.
Yep. Peace. I hope everybody caught what my brother said. so y'all can join us, man, and we can fellowship the right way.
We
So
got
we'll
the
give
whole gang on the call. I heard that.
it a couple more minutes. But we welcome everyone, and we want everyone to join us on our YouTube channel at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, so we can get your information. And like my noble said, you can send them an email, and we put your email, in the discussion or in the comments, and we're going to send you this book. Especially, I see a lot of empress that follow me on TikTok. You guys want this wisdom. This is going to be a free gift for you to have things. And then when you get to dealing with us as we court each other, you can see in our bio, if you want to donate from the heart, we accept it. We accept it with love. But we'll build your library. We'll give you gifts. and we
Do I need to
also,
buy the scarf to join? No.
you say what?
Somebody said, "Do I need to buy the scarf to join?" No, you don't need to buy the scarf to join.
No. But you're gonna get you're gonna get the trolls on here too. So you just got to block this troll stuff if you feel it's disrespectful, because you're gonna get that a lot too. That's another thing you're gonna notice on social media as well. Noble Malik, you're gonna get a whole bunch of things.
Oh, it wasn't disrespectful.
No, not that person, but you'll see. But anyway,
I won't even read none of those. So,
mhm.
If you got something negative to say, don't think it's gonna get read on here. So,
Absolutely.
Positivity, love, peace, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's it. That's it. That's all. If you ain't for that, you can just remove yourself.
That's not hard. I think that's a simple thing to do.
Yeah.
But like I said, if people want to join us, you're more than welcome to join us. But please come to our YouTube channel, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, so we can correspond. So like I said, did you do our Moorish American prayer already, Noble?
Nope.
Can you do it?
Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night, by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali, Amin Ashay, Shalom Hakim, our Islamism. Peace, 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 peace.
Once again, everybody that keep popping on, we want everyone to come right now live on our YouTube channel at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. So we're not gonna go too far on the teachings. Before we get into teachings, I'm gonna end everything, and I hope everyone, if you like the message, you will come to our YouTube channel and you will show some love. If not, I understand. But when we speak of things, before I get into the main topic, it's a lot of information that some people may have heard of, some people may not have heard of. But in my academic endeavors and being able to go different places and see different things, and especially being unbiased in my understanding and wisdom, I was able to see certain things that, how can I say, that's behind closed doors. Like the book Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. Me and my empress, we went to a Greek fest at the Catholic Church. And soon as we walked in, we saw all the pictures of the Russian icons right in the front. Now, it's a certain painting style, and I forget the name of that style. My mother's upstairs. I don't want to bug her. But it's a painting style to where they painted the nose a certain way, but they had them a certain melanated, but kind of whitewashed. But you can see the similarity. But in the back, that's where they had everything off. And then when I talk about the first prophecies of Mami Waters, when I talk about the truth of American prophecy by the Catholic Church, or the theft, of African prophecy by the Catholic Church. When I say no disrespect, and I say we're not here to disrespect no one. We have a culture. And when I did my oral dissertation at Grand Canyon University, I had to prove what I was saying, no matter how no one liked it. I had to show the culture and the history. And when I'm telling people, if you say a certain person is literal and they literally walk the earth, well, then the only literal people I know walk the earth, they come from their mother in 9 months. That's immaculate conception. I don't know no other way. If so-called John the Baptist was Jesus' brother, I say, okay, well, then he had to have a mother and a father. So what side of the family was on? If we talk this literal things, it had to be both things coming together. Now, we have to be literal with the situation. And when we talk about things that we can show in history and give a little synopsis for brothers and sisters that can have a clear understanding, is we call this history that the Catholic Church knew. You know, the Sybil matriarch. They produced the world's first oracles, prophetess, and prophets, known as the Pathonis. They worked the oracles in the Black Egyptian colonies and in ancient Greece, Rome, Turkey, Israel, Syria, Babylon. Their holy temples were more numerous than the churches of today. In ancient Rome, they first established the holy seat of the Vatican, advising the world's heads of state. Centuries before Christ, they cured all type of disease, the blind, lepers, and cast out demons. It was the Sibyls who called up the spirit of the apostle Samuel. Their pagan prophecies were used by the emerging Roman papals to create a Western theological foundation and became the undisputed precursor for their Christian Bible. African women's religion history is finally being unearthed, exposing shocking revelations buried for over 2,000 years. See, I'm not going to go all the way deep in that because I'm going to show you from another perspective. Just like my noble Malik, when I showed him, it's the little Christian book. It was a big blue book. It was on Amazon. It's a biblical history book. And in the book, it shows Artemis. Now, y'all know the spaceship that flew up in the sky. What did they name it? Artemis. I'll tell you, they always take your wisdom and take it to the sky. Now, if you understand what's above is below, which you're not catching none of the science is, in that biblical history book, they have the god Artemis. When you read that history of the Artemis, a light bulb moment should brighten up. And then it's going to go and then when that light bulb moment pop up, it's going to go all the way back to the Sibyls, the Mami Waters. Then it's going to go all the way back to Moorish heads, everything. So when a person's saying things and our brothers and sisters that diss things, we have to come a little better than just throwing slander.
That's right.
Remember that. We must be better than that. We must be. And if we're not going to be able to break that down, because even if you were that fez, you got to know what that fez represent in this context. That fez represents what? 9 to the 9 to the 9th power of 9. The navel, the umbilical cord, right?
That's right.
So all those things is synonymous to something, even when we look at these heads, these figures. So I want everyone right now, before I get into what it is, how much time? Before I get into the teachings, I want y'all to join us on Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School on YouTube. Oh, my fault, y'all. But we have to know that history. I'm not going to stay all too far in that, into that history of the Sibyls, the theft of African prophecy by the Catholic Church, but you can research that history if you may. But we're going to talk about a similar topic today, because we always like to dig in our library and, put things together to show you what the world knows and how we don't know who we are. But what is Hosea 4:6? What is that? My people are destroyed due to a lack of knowledge, because we refuse to learn. And when God was a woman, and when people say, well, what do you mean? Well, God, the woman is this. And I always sit down. I always want to have reason with my brothers and sisters. Huh?
The masculine and the feminine.
Yeah. AKA immaculate conception. I always try to be literal with my brothers and sisters. The huge reason, before I get into this teaching, I say, listen for a minute. Immaculate conception is man and woman coming together, and 9 months, child is born.
Yeah.
You got to take some immaculate conception for that whole birth cycle to happen. That is an immaculate conception. If you understand the etymology and the origin of what the words that are coming out of my mouth, and we're not saying nothing biased or prejudice of anything. We're showing the inner science of how man is made. Man is made in the image of God. So if one of the aspects of man being made in an image, then we got to come from our mama. We got to come from that birth cycle, right? I mean, this is what we said, brothers and sisters, where we can't diss nothing. It's no reason. In the beginning, there was what? Isis. This is one of the stories, right? Oldest of the old. She was the goddess from whom all becoming arose. She was the great lady, mistress of the two lands of Egypt, mistress of shelter, mistress of heaven, mistress of the house of life, mistress of the word of God. She was the unique in all her great and wonderful works. She was a wiser magician and more excellent than any other god. Thebes, Egypt, 14th century BC, the sun goddess of Arena, art and honored deity. Thy name is held high among names. Thy divinity is held high among the deities, nay, among deities. Thou alone, O sun goddess, art honored. Great art, though alone, O sun goddess of Arena. Nay, compare to thee, no other deity is honored or great. See, this is what they won't show you. Like, come on, man. We can't have life without the woman. The man in more science, the man and the woman sits on the throne together. And then what? You can put the unkin together. How? Immaculate conception. Or you can put the triangle up, the triangle down, put the unkin together. I'm symbolizing man and woman creating life. I don't know what they talking about. We can come from Turkey, the 15th century BC, unto her who renders decisions, goddess of all things, unto the lady of heaven and earth, who receives supplication, unto her whom hears petition, who entertains prayer, unto the compassionate goddess, who loves righteousness, the star, the queen, who suppresses all that's confused, to the queen of heaven, the goddess of the universe, the one who walked in the terrible chaos and brought life by the law of love, and out of chaos brought us harmony, and from chaos thou hast led us by the hand. That's Babylon, the 18th to the 17th century BC. Hear, ye regions, the praise of the Queen Nana. Magnify the creatures, exalt the dignified, exalt the glorious one. Draw nigh to the mighty land. That's in Sumer, the 19th century BC. So what we're illuminating here is we have to, if a person say this person is literal, okay, well, literal then, they had to come from their mama.
Literally.
I mean, it's hard, to do this. Like I said, that's why we have to be able to sit down with our brothers and sisters and say, we're not dissing nothing. We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. You see what I'm saying?
Prove all things, right?
Yes.
And hold fast to what is good.
Yes.
So that means prove where you came from.
Yes.
And you just did that.
Yes.
I just literally had this conversation with somebody 2 days ago.
Yes. Once again, we want you to join our YouTube channel. Please come there. Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I'm going to keep saying it for a couple minutes because I don't want to leave y'all. I want y'all to come over. I'm going to be doing this for a couple more times till we obsolete. But y'all got to subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can correspond, so we can email you, and we can let y'all know what we got going on. And y'all can let us know what y'all got going on,
And all our information is at the bottom of our screen on here, too.
Yeah. And all our information is going on the bottom of the screen. Check our little program out.
On YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, if y'all don't mind. But how did all this happen? When we talk about men and you see on social media where it's now what's popular is the man against the woman. How did this happen? How did a certain individual gain control that allows a certain type of figure to regulate the world in matters as vastly diverse and deciding which wars will be fought? Think about this.
Not knowing your essence.
Yeah. When men say a woman can't do this and that and the other. And I said, well, okay, Gaddafi had all women in his regiment.
Yep.
I'm just saying. And Saint Germain said, give me 100 wash women. I can change this whole movement.
Yep.
You see, no one won no. Yeah. And it's just like Chirac. When I tell people, it's like we can't X each other out by a lack of knowing, by not knowing who we are, by misquoting religious texts, saying don't understand it's a whole plethora of people in the biblical text. And once you understand the science, it's a unification, not a separation.
That's right.
You know, you understand
That's
that.
what the Ankh is, right? That's what the Ankh is, unification, not separation.
And Malik, how can somebody be somebody? You got to have two sides of the family. Noble, like this I've been telling people. I said, it's about two families merging. It's about two families coming together. Now you got two sides of the family. I mean, are you missing what I'm saying? You feel me?
I feel you. I understand. I understand. How about that?
You know,
Yeah,
that's why when we have to get away that I said, no, we not giving up the birth cycle. We're not giving up that immaculate conception, because if we wear our fez, we wearing our fez prematurely. And we talking about that context. I gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared in the esoteric science of our Moorish fez. And a white fez that goes
to what you're saying too, though, right?
Hmm?
Saying a woman was God. See, I told you a woman is God. You know, some women might, prematurely understand what you're saying, because it's the essence of one and the same, right? These two sides of the family is what you're explaining. So I hope they get that context of what you're explaining, and not misunderstanding what you're saying.
Watch it, because this is how it's going to clear up right here. Because see, when you talk about, we teach our young children, both female and male, sometimes that a male deity created the universe, and that all is production. Man is the own divine image. And then, as the afterthought, created woman. To do what? To be obedient, to be helped. Man is his endeavors. But then when you read our science, that's not how our science is brought up. We're not saying the woman is God like this. We saying we are gods. We let us make man, and not let us. You can't have one without the other. I keep saying it from the beginning. What it takes, man and woman, to create life, immaculate conception. Like, come on. This is too simple. The fez is an outward symbolization of what I just said. Come on. It symbolizes what? Man and woman. The woman is the only one that can have that in that system, and it can come out a what? A male or a what?
Female.
Okay.
And then you see how they're synonymously saying man and woman, female and male. Think about it, it's connected.
So that's what we saying. We want us to respect that aspect of culture. You know, we want to respect that aspect of culture. You know, and even when you talk about things, when I said, how did a lot of this stuff happen? Because the image of Eve created from her husband, the woman who was supposed to have brought about the downfall of humankind. That's what the story says. Has in many ways become the image of all women. And how did this idea ever come into being? Few people who lived in societies were Christian, Judaism, or which we call Islam. Our follow remain unaware of the tale of Eve heading the word of the serpent in the Garden of Eden, eating the forbidden fruit, they say, and then tempting Adam to do the same. But generally, during the most impressionable years of childhood, y'all, we are taught that it was this act of eating, right, the tasty fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil that caused the loss of paradise, right? The expulsion of Adam and Eve. Watch this. Thus all humankind from this first home of bliss and contentment. We are also made to understand that as the result of this act, it was decreed by God that woman must submit to the dominance of man. Just like when it says, slave, obey your master. Watch this. Who was at that time divinely presented with the right to rule over her from that moment until now. But the expulsion, meaning cast out per se, of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden is not exactly the latest news. Few contemporary happenings have affected women of today directly. So when we talk about this religion aspect, I say there's always in one aspect is going to be the degrading of this, or as J. Edgar Hoover always say, what? You know, we're going to destroy the, Messiah. Think about what I'm saying. And it's been religiously done with all due respect,
Right.
So, so it's no disrespect when our women be like, well, is this some male? No, we have to respect the divine feminine. Because what this all about. Remember the thought of us today, religion appears to be archaic relic of the past, especially the writings of the Old Testament, which tell of times many centuries before the birth of Christ. And too many of our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents, these writings were still regarded as the what? Sacred gospel, the divine word. Because a lot of our grandmas had that picture on the wall say, don't you touch my Jesus. Y'all done heard that saying. One picture he got blue hair, one picture he got the other hair. You would know he all different color. You don't know what he looked like. And then I say, well, who is that? Caesar Borgias? I don't know, but whatever. But in turn, their religious beliefs and subsequent behavior and social patterns have left their imprint on various ways. So when you talk about to fully understand how and why man gained the image of the one who accomplishes the greatest and the most important deeds, while woman was regulated to the role of ever patient helper, and subsequently assured that this was the natural state of the female relationships, of the female and the male. And it's these remote periods of human history that we must travel. So when you look at this science, y'all, and and when you get like the poetry and the classic Greek writings, just like in the Christian book, when we talk about the Artemis, and you'll be like, well, what Artemis? And it'll start revealing so much. It's gonna take you all the way down. It's gonna take you all the way down a deep rabbit hole. Just like when the Catholic Church, they pray. Why you think they pray to Jesus, Mother Mary? The Black Madonna per se. They call it the Black Madonna. Most of the artifacts concerning the vast female religion, which flourished from the thousands of years before the advent of Judaism, Christianity, and the classical age of Greece, have been dug out of the ground only to be reburned in obscure archaeological texts. Me and my noble Malik got the book. I was like, Malik, get this book. And then because I was showing it, he was like, man, I found it. And they be trying to charge all the books for thousands of dollars because the information be there. Mm-hmm. Carefully said, it'd be right there in your face. And you don't have to get no book that's written by someone else. And I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all. I did this in academia. I can say I can use the books that they talk about and then say, well, what about this? And then say, well, wait a minute. Well, because the Catholic Church know what I'm talking about. I'm welcome there. There's no disrespect. I'm just waiting for my brothers to catch on, but shelved away and exclusively protect the stacks of university and museum and these libraries. Quite a few of these were accessible only with the proof of university affiliation or university degrees. And that's what I be telling people when people be saying scholarship and they be disagreeing, a lot of times I'm like, well, I have the documents. And the only way I was able to get these books and things because I was able to go to the universities. It's there, and yep. and when you talk about these things, you can research about the ancient goddess religion. And along these libraries and museums and these universities and all these sites in the United States, in Europe, in the East, you will see all this, and you will see all this gathered material of the early female deities, and you will see these legends and all these religious ceremonies of sacrifice festivals coinciding with the ritual activities, statues, murals, inscriptions. This was one of my dissertations. Like even they would talk about comments were often found in literature of one country about the religion or divinities of another. And most interesting was the realization that the myths of the culture that explained the origins were not only always the oldest, but never visions often superseded and displays various ones. What they saying is like this stuff was before a lot of stuff, before the beginning of time. It was a Professor Edward Chira of the University of Chicago wrote of the Babylonian myth of the creation of heaven and earth by the god Marduk, that Marduk, the new god of this rather new city, certainly had no right to appropriate to himself the glory of so great a deed. But in Hammurabi's time, Babylonia was the center of the kingdom. Marduk backed Hammurabi armies, could now claim to be the most important god in the land. Y'all know who Marduk, didn't they say somebody was Marduk in the Bible and vice versa?
Yep.
See? And so what I'm showing y'all is you notice that a lot of this stuff It didn't happen like that.
Yep.
You know.
You might want to cut off that TikTok page now.
Yep. Oh yeah. So I'll see y'all later, man. Join us on our YouTube channel. Peace. Yeah, join us on our YouTube channel. Peace. Cause we ain't got too much longer. But gratitude, Malik, for that. Heads up. But this was a planned destruction. And the writers of the Judeo-Christian Bible, as we know it, seem to have purposely glossed over the sexual identity of the female deity who was held sacred by the neighbors of the Hebrews in Canaan. And how did we know this? You know, it's right here in the biblical scripture. You know, you'd be like, what?
Like ragu.
Yeah. How did we know this? All those female deities. You know, the Old Testament does not even have a word for goddess. In the Bible, the goddess is referred to as Elohim in the masculine gender, to be translated as God. But the Quran of the Mohammedans was quite clear. In it, we read, Noble Malik, Allah will not tolerate adultery. The pagans pray to females. That's what they say. And since a great deal of information was gleaned from the university and museum libraries, another problem that you encounter was the sexual and religious bias of many of those scholars of those times in the 19th centuries, in the same way they do with our scholarship. They try to say the Arab, but we have research to show you what the ancient Arab really is. You know?
That's right.
And so, like I said, I didn't want to be too long today, but like I said, I just wanted to, you know, show people that we want them to come to this page, and we want them to learn about not only who you are, but some culture, you know, some real culture, so you can put it together.
The teachings that resonate within.
Yes, Malik, because in our culture, the man and the woman is one. Yeah. God and man is one. Like our women sits on the throne with us. That's how we have culture. We don't want it no other way. We don't want it no other way.
We don't know how Islam Muslims. No. We not operate. We wear our natural. We wear our headdress and we wear our fez. It represents who we are. It represents our chiefdom. This turban represents our chiefdom. Sacred wisdom.
Yes. And we wear our fez. Yes, and we wear our fez. Just like if a person want to be biblical, when you look in the Bible and see the high priest wore the turban with the jewels on it. When you get your lexicon, I ain't never seen the followers of Yahshua wear no bow tie and no suit. See, so I can be technical, I can be biblical as well, because the followers of Yahshua wore turbans, cotton or silk, with the stash, you know. So and they dress like me and my brothers.
Yep.
So we just wanted to have a little small discussion and share that piece of science, because it was really, really, really on my heart today. Because I saw something, Malik, and I know the work that we do is going to be a road, because we have a lot of elder preachers that stuck on that road. And somebody sent me something, was like, man, I just can't wait till you're able to be in all these places to where the young kids need to hear you. Because she said, the pastor said he want to thank God for slavery, because slavery introduced misnomer Black people to Jesus.
What? That's ironic right there. That's diabolical. No, making these kids. Hey, some European name. That's what you're saying. I don't get it.
And it hurt. And she was like, she get hurt. She was like, and I understand why these kids don't go. She was like, they don't know nothing. It's no pride. It's no love. And I said, well, that's, like I said, that's what we need to bring back to the people and make it normal. You know,
it don't resonate in a spirit. It don't resonate.
Yes.
So you have to translate. It don't resonate because it needs to translate. Because they bought it, it's a mistransliteration to dogma, right?
Yeah.
Teaching that has nothing to do necessarily with us in its totality and the way that they teach it. So
Yeah.
we have to break down the esoteric and the esoteric forms to get it to resonate.
Yeah. To get it to make sense, to show
Yeah.
how it's used for power, to show us it's all about group economics and loving who we are. This, when they always talk about the community of this, to show us how we can build a community. All these things, with Malik saying the esoteric and the exoteric, how we deal with each other, the aspect of what? Building a community. It's more than that. You know, that's why when you look how the Moorish Science Temple of America was created, how we do is showing how to build a community.
So think about like what the example that I brought up about everybody watching Jesus getting hung and nobody did nothing. But if everybody had group economics, right, and we understood that there is no reason for that individual that was teaching love and truth and peace and freedom and justice to be hung, and there was no crime committed. So if we was a community, we would have stood up for that and not allowed that to happen. That's what we're supposed to be doing, not allowing those things to happen because it's not justified.
Islam, man. And so
now we would be spectators and watch on the sideline and then wait till somebody does something good or make something of themselves and then be like, oh yeah, I was watching all along. Yeah, you was watching. You wasn't participating.
Yeah. And we like my brother said, we welcome all. You know, like once we get from the lower base, which is I call it addition. Now we got to go to multiplication, and that's not even advanced mathematics, you know. And so I think it should be, no matter the remnant, because the remnant is a lot of people. We should be okay with that. We should be okay with moving forward, and that's all I got to say, man. Especially with the science, the science saves us, but we have to be matter factual with the science, so we don't be biased over what we teaching, or like Malik said, misteaching. You know what I mean? Because history and spirituality and law goes all together. Because law governs all events. We gonna run that back around to show you probably next week in the DAP class. And a lot of stuff, that I thought a lot of brothers knew, Malik, that was our age, they don't know about the science. They, because
we understand that, right? We went to a public school system, right? So we do understand that the elementary is what you really need to know to get the esoteric and the esoteric. You necessarily didn't need junior high. At junior high, we should have been learning this.
Yeah, absolutely, Malik.
Instead, we went to schools of people that don't look like us, right? And those schools were created people who don't look like us and don't have a culture and aren't attached to anything. So with that reaps destruction of oneself. And I don't care what nationality you are, but if you go to that school, it's really destruction of oneself.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, we welcome everyone here at the BBT. We under the triple rose. We have a clear understanding of all the religious rights. We love everyone. We understand the Christian or the Jerusalem, the Fatimite, the Paraclete. Yep. We understand our history, and we understand your perspective, and we understand everybody have a right. And so our doors is open for discussion, in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, never to debate, but it's always discussion. And I understand from my experience in academia and dealing with my brothers, reason and understanding and things that can be proven should calm your spirit, because we should want to know. And, knowing is half the battle, and so that's,
application is the other part.
There you go. You took it out of my mouth. And that's what makes it holistic, But if we don't know, like the prophet said years ago, we can't blame ourselves. Once we know, then it goes back to us. Yeah.
That's the book we was reading out of today.
Yeah.
Y'all know.
Yep. And we got a plethora more. And that's how we'll build your library. You have it on as an ebook. You can travel all the way with it, everywhere with it. Technology, y'all, is going to change it. And if a lot of people
we got to let people know that, like, the culture and the history of the people when we was one has been ripped apart and torn into the four corners of the world, right, and scattered all abroad. We're here to unite all of that, to bring it back together as one.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, I ain't had that much time. I wanted to see if anybody want to get on here and say anything. I just wanted to highlight that piece of wisdom, just to throw it out there, because we want people to, at the BBT, we want people to correspond. We want people to ask questions. That's why we want you to join us, for you can, put in a text stream. And if we're not, a comment stream. And if we don't answer it right then, we'll email it right back to you. But we'll stop in enough time for we can at least have a little conversation if people may want some clarity of things, if it's pertaining to what we're talking about,
Right. Absolutely.
So that's pretty much.
Anybody on our YouTube page has any questions that's in the subject of what we're talking about, please type it in and we could address that. So if not, we'll be up out of here until next Saturday or till he goes on TikTok live during the week. He will.
Yeah. But with that being said, y'all, hey, it's all good. We definitely want y'all to come on YouTube. We definitely want.
Good. Y'all ready for this?
And Malik, what we really want, if when people join us on YouTube, then people can put in a comment box or suggestions on specific topics. Through the week.
What y'all want to learn about?
Yeah. If anything that want to be, for adult class, Sunday class, if it's something spiritual that aligns with whatever, but I'm for the people, and so we can use other days to converse on topics and things that people may want to ask or clarity on. We can do that. Adapt class. We can do that, and maybe through the week. Yeah, if we get questions, we'll have all that ammo, and we'll keep it kind of systematic. Maybe 10 minutes, and we can ask certain questions, and we can keep that on that Saturday.
Yeah, especially if you get like some of the same questions throughout the week. We can address that and say, hey, we're going to be here Saturday at 10:30 Arizona time, AZ time zone, and we're going to address this topic right here.
Yep, Islam. Well,
all right.
We out of here, man. Got to make my runs.
All right. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day through the Holy Prophet, through the spiritual, the esoteric, and the esoteric. We say Shalom Aleichem, our Islamism. Peace, 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 peace.
We got our benediction, or no?
No, it's just me.
Oh, okay.
So you got it?
I think I got it right here. Hold on, it won't be long. Let me just pull it up. I got it real fast. Yeah, but I didn't want to be too long. I just wanted to drop a little nugget to show us, man, we got to unify. And without the woman, that it would be no me. It would be no Noble Malik.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, no matter how anybody feel about it. But our benediction reads, may the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thy always, as we all should strive to be the credit to Allah. And when we say Allah, we mean manifestation of man made in the image of the Creator with all extremities. We want to make that known as well. Nothing outside of ourselves. Make haste to bestow thy acts of love upon all our brothers, and we do our best to shun all evil. We must all remember to take the suckle breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that we all might nourish the souls of all men. Let the truth be thy shield in the manifest battles of falsehood. We all should know that we never need to pick the locks to the gates of paradise by means of criminal or any petty theft. For behold, the key to salvation already rests within our own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconstancy, there is still the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, and give us everlasting peace. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Yahak, Ya Muhammad, Ashe, Shalom Alaikum, peace, 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 Amen, and all that good stuff, man. Gratitude is the attitude.
Stay love first. Hate never.
Put it on the show.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun. It's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I